Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are going to love, especially if you're a Boston Celtics fan. We're going to be talking about 5 Boston Celtics trades they can make this season to simply get better. We just got a big report from Danny Ainge, the GM of the Boston Celtics, and he said that this NBA trade deadline, the Boston Celtics, they're going to be active. And with the Celtics being in hot pursuit of the championship this year, I wouldn't be surprised if one crazy big trade ultimately ends up happening. After losing Gordon Hayward, I believe the Boston Celtics need one more guy to simply make them a finals contender, and that's why in this video, I have some perfect options. So if you're a Boston Celtics fan, you're gonna love this. But quickly, before I get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom and I make basketball videos every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and click this button right here, the post notification bell, to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it, guys. It would help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Boston Celtics.
You've been in games like, maybe not like this. I don't know if I've ever been in a game like this, but you know, sometimes things don't go your way. The other team gets to feeling really good, and then you feel like the weight of the world's on your shoulders to finish a game. And usually you do that with your effort, and you get a tough stop, a tough rebound, a loose ball. We didn't get any of that stuff.
The Boston Celtics are a great team and are recognized as one of the better teams in the NBA. Their future is clearly in the hands of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and from the looks of it, their future is bright. But if you look at the Boston Celtics right now, even though they're playing well, they're not playing as well as we expect them to be. The Celtics currently have a record of 12-10, which ranks them as the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. And if you watch Boston Celtics games, you know a lot of their losses were actually very close games where anybody could have taken it. From what it looks like, the Boston Celtics knows that they need more closers, they need more NBA experienced players, and that's why Danny Ainge, the general manager, is going to be making a move during this year's NBA trade deadline. Before getting into the trades, I got some good news for Boston Celtics fans when it comes to the advantage the Boston Celtics have when talking about making an NBA trade. We all know this past offseason, their biggest loss was Gordon Hayward. The Boston Celtics did a sign and trade with the Charlotte Hornets, which means right now, the Celtics actually have a $28.5 million advantage when it comes to making a trade and adding a player that's worth more in a contract. This gives the Boston Celtics more leeway, as if they make a trade, salary matching won't be as important as normal. Some key factors to know as well is that Danny Ainge wants to focus mostly on these topics. It's either going to be looking for a big man, a dominant big man, or looking for a big man that can spread the floor and shoot the 3-ball. These are the 2 main key factors Danny Ainge will be looking into when making a trade. For this video, I have 5 realistic trade scenarios that I believe will be great for the Boston Celtics. It'll help the Boston Celtics in the criteria that they are currently looking for. The first trade on this list is the Boston Celtics offering up Tristan Thompson, their 2021 second-round pick, in exchange for PJ Tucker and Daniel House Jr. from the Houston Rockets. This is a very good, realistic trade for both teams, as PJ Tucker right now is one of the most popular forward trade targets among the trade market. When talking about PJ Tucker, he is currently on a rebuilding Houston Rockets team, and at the beginning of the season, around that James Harden trade time, PJ Tucker also requested a trade. With the Boston Celtics looking for a big man that can spread the floor and also be dominant in the paint, PJ Tucker is a perfect option, as he's one of the best 3-point shooters, especially at that corner spot. The Boston Celtics adding PJ Tucker will give the Bostons more option, especially on offense, on those driving kicks, but also give them a more all-around defensive atmosphere on the perimeter and interior. We all know last season, PJ Tucker actually played the center position for the Houston Rockets and led the Houston Rockets to the second round of the playoffs. And with the Boston Celtics being one of the younger teams in the NBA, adding PJ Tucker, an NBA veteran who brings veteran leadership and a great locker room presence, will be a great thing to their future outcome. We're hearing a lot of rumors surrounding Tristan Thompson, potentially on the trade block because of his ability to not shoot the three ball. And with the Boston Celtics focusing their future more on Robert Williams and Daniel Tice, that's why Tristan Thompson is going to be in a lot of these trade packages. The Boston Celtics right now need more off-the-bench defensive presence, and of course getting Daniel House Jr. will be great for that as well. The next trade on this list is with the Wizards, and it's the Boston Celtics offering up Tristan Thompson once again in exchange for Davis Bertans. With a lot of the Boston Celtics front court being more of an interior player, not being a great three-point shooter, adding Davis Bertans is a very popular rumor right now, as the Boston Celtics need good, efficient three-point shooting. As of right now, Davis Bertans isn't really doing that amazing for the Washington Wizards. They're not really using him to the best of his availability, and potentially him going to a new team where he can shine brightly might be the best thing for him and the franchise he joins. I love this trade when it comes to an offensive atmosphere and a player that can offensively affect their rotation and playbook. Davis Bertans is a great option, but the only problem and setback about Davis is his ability to be a pretty bad defender. This trade has pros and cons. If you lose Tristan Thompson, you lose interior defense, but of course Thompson can't shoot. But if you get Davis Bertans, you gain three-point shooting, but lose interior defense. I believe getting Davis Bertans is good for the Boston Celtics, as they'll have more offensive options besides Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker. The next trade on this list is with the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's the Boston Celtics offering up Tristan Thompson, their 2022 first round pick, and their 2023 second round pick in exchange for Montrezl Harrell. We're talking about this past offseason, Tristan Thompson and Montrezl Harrell were both signed to the exact same contract, a 2-year mid-level exception contract. This trade makes sense for both teams, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. On the Boston Celtics perspective, they'll be getting a more offensive player of Montrezl Harrell to actually close out games and of course be an emotional factor on the court. The Boston Celtics need front court depth that can actually score on a consistent basis, and getting Montrezl Harrell, the 6th man of the year last season, he has the potential to score 20 plus points per game, is a great option. On the Lakers' perspective, they're looking for more of a sizable big man, a player that can crash the boards on a consistent level and be a better rim protector, and with Tristan Thompson being previous teammates with LeBron James on their Cleveland Cavaliers championship run, this relationship could be a possible reason there's a reunion. The Lakers have a lot of depth when it comes to scoring, and that's why the Lakers want more of a defensive presence when it comes to the front court. Having Tristan Thompson to potentially back up Marc Gasol wouldn't be a bad idea. On the Celtics' perspective, they can have Montrezl Harrell, who can actually close out games alongside Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, and just simply be more of an offensive threat against any NBA team. The Celtics need an athletic big man that can push the basket when it comes to those pick and rolls, and Montrezl Harrell would be a perfect option. The next trade on this list is the Boston Celtics offering up Tristan Thompson, Carson Edwards, and their 2021 first round pick in exchange for Andre Drummond of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And honestly, this is my favorite trade scenario. We're talking about Andre Drummond right now. He is currently in a pickle when it comes to a situation in the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers literally have so much big men. They have Andre Drummond, they have Jared Allen, they have Larry Nance Jr., they have Kevin Love, and they have JaVale McGee. And from what we're hearing, the Cavaliers are going to be very active during this year's NBA trade deadline, as they want to trade some of these centers to simply get better assets for their future. From what we're hearing, the Boston Celtics are keeping an eye on Andre Drummond. The moment he comes available, I'm pretty sure they're going to call the Cavaliers. And with the Boston Celtics looking for a dominant center, a dominant big man that can be an impactful offense and defensive presence, Andre Drummond is at the top of that list. Andre Drummond is actually averaging plus 15 rebounds per game. He's leading the league in rebounds, and just imagine a lineup of Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Tatum, and Andre Drummond. The Boston Celtics, in my opinion, would be going to the finals. And the last trade on this list is with the Indiana Pacers, and that's the Boston Celtics offering up Kemba Walker in exchange for Miles Turner and Jeremy Lamb. Alright, Boston Celtics fans out there, you guys might not like this deal because you're giving up Kemba Walker, but from what we're hearing so far, the Boston Celtics actually might be trading Kemba Walker because he's not living up to expectation, and the Boston Celtics have some concern when it comes to his health. Kemba Walker just had a big knee treatment, and with the Boston Celtics focusing their future more on Tatum and Jaylen Brown, trading Kemba Walker might be the best thing for him. In this trade scenario, the Boston Celtics get a dominant big of Miles Turner. We all know right now, he's leading the league in blocks per game. But what's special about Miles Turner is his ability to spread the floor and knock down three-point shots. And with the Boston Celtics looking for a big man who can rebound, be an interior presence, but of course also looking for a three-point presence shooter, Miles Turner is the perfect player that gives the Boston Celtics an all-around aspect. In my personal opinion, losing Kemba Walker to get more depth, especially at their front court, wouldn't be a bad idea, as they still have players to potentially be their future backcourt. They have Marcus Smart, they have Pritchard, their rookie, and that's why Kemba Walker is expendable in my opinion. There are so much Kemba Walker trade rumors out there, but for this video, this is the best one that I have in mind. But ultimately guys, this wraps up my video for today on the Boston Celtics and 5 trades that I believe they can make during this season. What's most important to me is what are your thoughts? Are these trades realistic? Could these happen? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy. God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!